I have a question. Has anybody in Westeros ever attended a funeral and just gone home? Because this funeral had family drama, dragon drama, knife fights, an eye injury, a hookup, a fake death, and a wedding, all in one episode. That's not a funeral. That's a package event. I'm Michelle. This is Leopard Shoe Entertainment, and we need to talk about Driftmark because this is where the wheels officially fall off the wagon. So what had happened was episode 7, we're at Driftmark. Laena Velaryon has died and everyone gathered for her funeral. Before we go any further, I need to say this. Laena deserved better because the woman chose Dragonfire over letting somebody make decisions over her body. And honestly, respect, because after what happened to Aemond, Viserys's wife before this new wife, after what happened to her, Laena was like, what y'all not gonna do is have anybody making no decision for me. Now we grieving. Now everybody grieving. Everybody, we at the repass. Everybody having a drink. Folk giving each other side eye. Okay, everybody got a little emotional baggage. Aemond, still dragonless. I kind of let the cat out the bag last week. But anyway, this baby, he was tired of getting his ass chewed up all the time by all the kids, okay? They pranked him with the pig. They had the jokes. They was teasing. He was embarrassed, okay? But eventually, he got tired of being a punchline. So in the middle of the night, he decided, you know what? Vhagar out there. I'm finna go get her. The Vhagar. The biggest dragon alive. The flying nuclear weapon. That Vhagar? Yeah. Okay, so he goes out there and he was like, got him. Okay, her, because Vhagar is a girl. Anyway, so he was like, oh, no takesies backsies. I got her now. She is mine. And I'm not gonna lie, that was gangster. Dangerous, but gangster. That little boy said, y'all been laughing at me and all of that kind of stuff. When I come back riding this big ass dragon, let's see who laughing now, bitch. Now the other kids, not impressed, okay? Especially Laena's daughters, because from their perspective, somebody stole their mama dragon. They was ready to get these hands, okay? They was ready to scrap. And them girls was scrapping. Then next thing you know, arguing happened. Somebody was pushing. Somebody started insulting because all the kids now in the scrapping. And eventually, somebody pulled out a knife. Vhagar Velaryon. He just happened to have a knife. But he did that in self-defense because Aemond was going to bash his brother's head in with a rock. So he was doing that in self-defense. Aemond loses an eye. When you play with knives and shit, folk eyes get poked out. Everybody talking about the eye, but the eye wasn't really the story. The story is what happened after that, because suddenly all the adults were in the room. All the lies, all the resentment, all the fear, all the trauma, all of that come rushing to the surface because Miss Church Mother Alicent has finally had enough. She been suffering. She been sacrificing. She been raising babies. She was married to Viserys' dusty ass, watching Rhaenyra be outside doing whatever the hell she want, carrying on, and she had enough resentment to power a small city. So when Aemond lose his eye, something snaps. Viserys wouldn't give her the justice that she wants. She grabbed his knife and she was like, move, bitch. I will do it myself. Now Rhaenyra, she not that kind of girl. She's not gonna lay down. She's like, oh, really? Run up, get done up. She's like, you bad? Let's see what we doing. What we talking about? Because she was about to get them hands. But you know what? After all these years, these two women can finally stop pretending. Their friendship, dead, buried, gone. It is over. And then, because apparently this episode wasn't chaotic enough, we get Daemon and Rhaenyra. Now, let's be clear. Daemon been sniffing around Rhaenyra since episode 1. Every single time it happened, I was like, I'm calling Child Protective Services because absolutely not. Uncle, ill, grouse. But this time was a little bit different because this wasn't Daemon chasing Rhaenyra. This was Rhaenyra waking up like, sir, we are grown now. And suddenly everybody forgot how to act. It was still weird. I'm not saying that relationship wasn't weird. I'm not saying that at all. It's still weird, but it's Westeros and everything here is weird. So the power dynamic, changed a little bit, but That's important because she chose it. Rhaenyra wasn't looking for it. I'm not saying it's right, but whatever. Before this funeral is over, Laenor gone, child. So in order for them to get married, she had to get rid of Laenor. So they had a plan. Laenor, he did his big one and he got the hell out of Dodge so that he could live his truth. So Laenor gone. Daemon and Rhaenyra got married. And everybody got even more trauma. Like I said, a package event. Anyway, 6 years later, Viserys, Pola Tink Tink, that Iron Throne been whooping his ass. It keep whooping his ass. Because by now, he turned into the Crypt Keeper. I mean, he's being held together by hopes and dreams and milk of the poppy and duct tape. Because child, right? And the question is, who inherits Driftmark? But before we get to the Driftmark succession drama, can we please talk about Larys, child? Oh my God. Every episode I learned something new about Larys. Every episode. First, he burned his father and his brother alive. Then, he becomes Alicent's personal problem solver. Whatever it is that she needs, he just pop up. I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna really watch you. And every time he appears on screen, I get a little disturbance in my shanana. Larry just be sitting in the corner listening. Okay. Creep. Keep your eye on him. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled succession crisis. Who gonna inherit Driftmark? Because what had happened was Corlys was out sailing and shit or whatever, and he got injured. He got injured bad, okay? So he been out the game for a while, but Corlys had named Rhaenyra's sons to inherit Driftmark. Vaemond walked into court and said what everybody was thinking. Vaemond is Corlys's brother and he feel like he's the next one up, not Rhaenyra's kids. If his brother's down, he should be the next one in the succession. What he was thinking was what everybody was thinking. The realm knows what everybody thinking. The audience knows. The dragons know. The furniture know. Everybody know. And Vaemond is basically like, are we looking at the same kids? Looking at Rhaenyra kids like, them not Velaryons. Okay? He was not wrong. Them boys is strong, okay? They very strong. They extremely strong. Strong by face, strong by hair, strong by genetics, okay? And Viserys is over there like, I see nothing. As a matter of fact, I don't think he was wearing glasses because he could see shit. Sir, that's not how eyesight works, okay? But anyway, before things can go completely out of hand, something happens that honestly gives me the chills because Viserys heard what was happening. In those days, Otto and Alicent was basically running the kingdom because remember I said Viserys was a crypt keeper and he was falling apart. The throne been whooping his ass, but he heard that Vaemond was coming to court and he decided, I'm gonna get out of bed today. Listen, we've been dragging Viserys all season and deservedly so because his conflict resolution skills, trash, okay? Straight trash. But this was a king moment. This was a father moment. This was a man saying, not today. And that walk to the throne room wasn't just a walk. It was a resurrection, child. The music, the crown, the silence, Daemon helping his brother. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was so good. I'm not gonna lie. I got emotional because for one brief moment, Viserys looked like Viserys again. Not a man falling apart, a king. He walked in there and sat on the throne and immediately reminded everybody, this is still my kingdom, bitch. Okay, listen up. And automatically the room changed, the energy changed. Everybody's like, oh, okay. Like, oh, the king is in residence today? Even Vaemond's sorry ass. Unfortunately, Daemon forgot who he was talking to because he says the quiet part loud. Now see, everybody been whispering, everybody been gossiping, everybody been giving side eye. Okay, but Vaemond, he decided, we're not whispering today. He started talking about legitimacy and inheritance and bastards. And then he called Rhaenyra a whore. I mean, hella loud. Now listen, Vaemond wasn't wrong about them strong boys. He wasn't wrong. But there's some thoughts you might want to keep inside your head, especially especially when Daemon was standing right over there with Dark Sister. And ooh, yeah, he lost his head that day. It was swift. It was like, whoosh, it was gone. He couldn't even finish saying what he was gonna say. And then it went rolling down the street. Okay, so Daemon said, what? Oh, okay. I think we heard enough. I keep telling y'all, Daemon wake up every morning and choose chaos every single time. Don't play with my boy Daemon. He cray for a reason, but don't play with my boy because he will show you. He gonna be like, you gonna learn today, okay? Now, baby, let's really talk about it because the scene that lives rent-free in my head isn't the dinner, it's the throne room. Because for 8 episodes, we've been dragging Viserys. We all have been dragging him. That man avoids conflict like an Olympic sport. If procrastination was an Olympic event, he get gold every time. Every problem, push it down the road. Every conflict, yeah, whatever. He hoped it resolved itself. So basically, he was like, y'all work it out. But when it came to Rhaenyra, he showed up. And for one final moment, we got to see the king. We got to see him as the king, which was really, really nice. That was vintage Viserys. What makes that scene so powerful is because at this point, he was barely holding himself together. And still, he was trying to hold his family together. And that's the tragedy because once Viserys is gone, everything fell apart. After the throne room, we get the dinner scene. And honestly, oh my goodness, that's what breaks my heart because for one brief moment, it worked. For one brief moment, the family remembers that they're a family, not team black, not team green, not political rivals, not enemies, a family. Rhaenyra reaches out, Alicent responds, and suddenly you can see the girls that they used to be. They were best friends, young women who got pushed apart by Otto, trifling ass, by fear, by politics, by duty, by the patriarchy. But for 1 minute, it was like maybe, just maybe, they can find their way back to each other. Maybe peace has a chance. Maybe this whole thing doesn't have to end in bloodshed. And then Viserys leaves the room and everything changed. Because what had happened was Viserys was talking about prophecy. He went back to his chambers and Pola Tink Tink, he was hopped up on some milk of the poppy. So he was high as hell. So then he started having them dreams and was talking about the prophecy and all the things. And he was talking about the prince that was promised and Aegon and the dream. And the thing he's been discussing with Rhaenyra for years, the problem is Rhaenyra wasn't there, but Alicent was. Alicent hears exactly what she wants to hear, not because she's evil, not because she's stupid, because she's human. Because after 20 years of fear, 20 years of sacrifice, 20 years of convincing herself that she was protecting her kids, she hears validation, or what she thinks is validation. She genuinely believes Viserys changed his mind. She genuinely believes that he wants Aegon to be on the throne. Here's the tragedy. He doesn't. He was talking about Rhaenyra the whole time. He was always talking about Rhaenyra. That same day, he said what he said. For 20 years, he been saying what he was saying. But Alicent, she didn't know that. In that moment, she misunderstood that one conversation, that one moment becomes the spark, not the war itself, the spark, the thing that finally lights everything on fire. And then Viserys dies. And that's what makes all of this hurt, because after the throne room, after the dinner, after the brief glimpse of hope, you start thinking maybe things can be fixed. Maybe Alicent and Rhaenyra can find their way back to each other. Maybe this family can survive itself. And then Westeros said, nope. Because Viserys spends his final moment believing that he was helping Rhaenyra, believing that he was helping and talking to his daughter, and believing that he was reinforcing her claim. But Alicent hears something completely different. The audience knows exactly what's happening. We know what he means. We know what she's hearing. And we know what's coming next. And nobody can stop it. Honestly, that's why I call episodes 7 and 8 the point of no return, because before this, there was still hope. Some small hope, but it was hope nonetheless. And Viserys was alive. Rhaenyra and Alicent still remembered who they used to be. The family was technically one's family, but after this, They're done. They're done. The line was crossed. The war has already started. The one thing left is for everybody to realize it. And before we move on, RIP to a real one, because Viserys was flawed, he was frustrating, he was conflict avoidant, he was stubborn, he was complicated, but when it matters most, he showed up. And that throne room walk, child, that will live rent-free in my head forever. All right, who you with? Team Black or Team Green? Because after episodes 7 and 8, I understand both sides. I really do. And that annoys me. It really does. Drop your team in the comments below. And if you switch sides, tell me why. And we'll chat about it in the comments below. Y'all already know. Team Black all day, every day. I'm sorry. I'm Team Black. Sorry. Anyway, so next. Who needs therapy in Westeros? Everybody. Everybody need it, okay? Everybody need BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp, yo, holla at your girl. Because if y'all can sponsor anybody, sponsor Westeros. Because there is not a single mental health person in this kingdom. Not one. Alicent need therapy. Rhaenyra need therapy. Riston need therapy. Aemond definitely need therapy. We know Daemon need therapy. And Larys, Larys need a whole different website. BetterHelp, holla at your girl. Who annoyed me most this week? Who you think annoyed me most this week? I'm gonna put these folks on here like this, but the main one who annoyed me was Alicent. I know you know good and damn well that you heard that man say that Rhaenyra was his heir. For the last 20 years, see, you and all your kids over there, I'm looking at you. For the last 20 years, you knew that that's what Viserys wanted. 20 years. And with his dying breath, missing half his face, high as a kite on Milk Up the Poppy, talking about dreams and prophecies, and suddenly you're like, oh yes, he clearly meant my son. That's who he was talking about. Girl, be so for real. That's not what that man said. That's what you wanted him to say. You wanted him to say that. And now look at us. The whole realm about to be on fire because of your ass. Trash. Okay? Trash. Ooh, episodes 9 and 10 are next, and oh my goodness, I'm not emotionally prepared, and neither are you. So get your snacks, get your water, get your tissues, okay? Because things is gonna be popping. Be ready, because we're headed into the season finale. I'm Michelle. This is Leopard Shoe Entertainment, and I'll see y'all in Westeros. Deuces.